If you've been using tons of water and it still seems like your soil is bone dry and your plants are withering, I feel you. I used to be the same exact way. No matter how much water I seemed to add, my plants were still unhappy. But I figured out a way to conserve water and still have happy and healthy plants. So in this video, I'll be showing you why watering more frequently or deeper won't fix your problem, the secret to watering less and still having healthy crops, and a pro tip that you can start implementing right away to save money and still have healthy food. Gardening in desert-like conditions with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s and no clouds in sight can spell disaster for your garden. You water every single day, and every day the soil is dry and the plants are wilted. When plants are wilting, they're stressed. When plants are stressed, that leads to more pest problems and less produce for you to harvest. Watering in these conditions is like trying to hold water in a strainer. There are so many holes to escape, you can't possibly hope to hold any water in there. As temps start to rise, gardeners usually resort to one of two tactics. Either start watering more deeply or more frequently. But the problem remains the same. If you don't plug the holes, your time and money are going right down the drain. This strainer is your raised bed garden. Even rich compost or other soil has its limitations. We need soil that soaks up water like a sponge. Let's pause for a moment and picture yourself taking a new dry sponge and trying to mop up a puddle of water. Initially, it literally repels and pushes the water away. But once you wet the sponge and wring it out, it easily soaks up the spill. Biochar is like a sponge. It can improve the water retention of your soil by 50%. Now this can be added to your raised beds in a volume up to 1/3 of your total soil because it takes thousands of years to decompose. It's also going to reduce the need to top off your beds every season. And it makes a fantastic home for garden helpers. These microscopic garden helpers are able to pull the particles of the soil closer together, which helps improve water retention. And they also help the plant to more efficiently and effectively take up what water is available. You can get this soil biology going by using compost, earthworm castings, or other microbe sprays. I'll have a link down below to my favorite brands. Mulch is every garden guru's go-to for water retention, but to be honest, it's one of my least favorite approaches. Mulch can reduce water consumption through evaporation by 33%, so it's definitely nothing to scoff at. But if done improperly, it could cause fungal issues as it starts to decompose depending on the material. It can rob nitrogen from your soil if your mulch is too carbon heavy. And worst case, it can actually leach toxins into your soil. But my preferred approach is putting a lid on your garden bed. Have you ever wondered why a tropical rainforest is always wet? Obviously, it's the rain. But why is all of that rain there? The tree canopy acts like a lid over the forest floor, and it traps whatever moisture is trying to leave the system and sends it right back down. Now this is the same effect that you can get from those little kits you can buy for kids' terrariums, or even those domes that go over seed starting trays. You can achieve that result with plastic, but it can also be achieved with plants. When we can plan our garden to have the mature size of those plants just barely touching the edge of the plant next to it, we are effectively creating a canopy or a lid on our garden bed. Everything I've shared will absolutely help tip the scale in your favor when it comes to water retention. But it's not the leak-proof plastic liner for your strainer. Let's imagine that you have a set amount of water to water your garden with, and you've done your very best to turn your soil into a sponge. You can add that water but there's still going to be a maximum water retention, after which all of that extra water goes down the drain. But what if we could increase the volume of your soil? More soil, more sponge, better ability to soak up and hold all of that water. In this case, bigger really is better. Beginner gardeners tend to try to get away with the minimum. 8 inches of soil, your plant should be fine, in theory. But what I have found, in my pro tip, is to skip that and give the plants what they actually need to thrive, not just the bare minimum. Now, raised beds run the gamut. There's all different materials, dimensions, quality. I've tried them all, I can assure you. And I have found the raised beds that make the difference for me, that give the plants the volume and the quality and everything else that goes with it. If you want to find out more about these ultimate raised beds, check out this video next.